Deputy Speaker, I move the motion relating to local government in the terms in which it appears on the notice paper.
Call the member.
Deputy Speaker, this week, while this parliament sits, more than 1,000 mayors, councillors, shire presidents and executive staff are gathering in Canberra for the National General Assembly of Local Government under the Australian Local Government Association's theme of Stronger Together. As human beings, some of our most basic needs are clean water, reliable sanitation and shelter. These are mostly the domain of local government. What we have a need for human connection that relies on local roads to bring us together. This is the responsibility also of local government. Take a look at the parks and where we have played as children, spending time with families and achieving our sporting goals. Again, this is the work of local government. And who maintains the footpaths, ensures pets are part of our community and guides the planning and development of our towns and cities in which we live? Local government. The very same organisations that ensure there are cemeteries where our loved ones can visit us once we have gone. And, Deputy Speaker, which tier of government has been systematically underfunded and ignored in the recent budget? Which tier of government is collapsing under the weight of cost shifting and price increases? And which tier of government has no grant fund available to plan the community's futures? The answer again is local government. Today, I move that this chamber notes that local government is a critical tier of government in Australia that deserves the respect and trust of this federal government. Local government employs more than 213,000 local residents in communities throughout the 538 councils within Australia. And yet, in the recent budget alone, we saw exactly what level of respect the Albanese Labor government has for local government, and that's zero. The Local Roads and Community Infrastructure Program, the Regional Precincts and Partnership Program, the Urban Precincts and Partnership Program have all been cut and replaced with one program, the Growing Regions and Thriving Subjects Program. This is an impressive sounding program that actually translates to our regional councils as your funding has been cut. Instead of the dedicated regional funding and non-contestable programs, every local government across Australia, city or country, will be competing for the same dollars. Our small councils don't stand a chance. And while we're talking about a severe lack of respect for the tier of government that provides services essential for our survival, let's talk about the government's approach to housing support. The Labor government has allocated $2 billion in the Local Infrastructure Fund under the Housing Support Program, with only $500 million dedicated to local infrastructure for regional communities. There are 410 regional, rural and remote councils in Australia and just 138 metropolitan councils. The bottom line is this housing support is that the cities are allocated 9 times the amount as much as that has been allocated to regional councils. In this competitive program, what chance does a small council like Walgett or Central Darling or Brewarrina in my electorate have? This government has also quietly cut $41.7 million from the fee-free TAFE skills agreement. This is yet another blow for equity in our regions and yet another blow for growth and sustainability. Last year, the Federal Parliament's own interim report into local government sustainability found councils and municipalities and shires played an essential role. The report noted increased service delivery obligations and cost shifting. It found responsibility for services and management of complex infrastructure assets had shifted from state and territory and federal governments onto local government. It also found councils' funding and ability to raise revenue had deteriorated. This concerning report had been followed up after the federal election by a renewed inquiry into local government sustainability. Already that inquiry has received more than 250 submissions from Carnarvon, Parkes, Huon Valley, Ballon, Kangaroo Island and from right across Australia. The Greater Ballarat Alliance of Councils, councils within the Minister of Local Government's own electorate, has written in its submission that its councils, like many others, are facing increased demands for growth infrastructure and heightened community services expectations amid financial constraints. The cry is universal. Council are underfunded and this Labor government is not delivering. These are the same councils who are already, according to the 2024 National State of the Assets report, groaning under the weight of a shortfall of $50 to $55 billion to replace existing infrastructure reaching its end of life. Our local governments deserve more certainty, more sustainability and a lot more respect, and I commend the motion to this chamber.